Come on, Robbie, start the cheer, graduation day is here. A story for the class of 2018 told in 5 short chapters. And even though my back is to these wonderful students, it is, of course, dedicated to you. Let's go back 18 years ago and start at chapter 1. The day you came into this world, your face shone like the sun. You filled your parents' heart with joy. You made them both so proud. They couldn't sleep at all at night because you were so loud. You grew up very quickly. You were 1, then 2, then 3, raised in natural beauty where the mountains meet the sea. But you were just a little kid and far too young to know your parents picked the perfect place to watch you learn and grow. You picnicked on Mount Batty. You ran up all the way. You fished in Lake McGunnacook. You sailed out on the bay. You tumbled down the lime banks that border Walker Park, caught fireflies at Breezemere till it was after dark. You took a dip at Morgan's Mills by jumping off the bridge, or rode your bike to Perry's Pond way up there on the ridge. You came to call on Pearl Street to trick or treat, I bet. You were another ninja in the 1,000 kids we get. At Christmas, it was freezing, but you bravely stood there standing, waiting for the big guy's boat to pull up to the landing. And with the star on Batty shining down on you below, your little town was blanketed in newly fallen snow. So, when you stop and look around, I think this fact is clear. You were a very lucky kid to live and grow up here. Now we're on to chapter 2, your education story. Some began at RES and some at Montessori. Maybe you began with Mrs. Gordon at the start, while Mrs. Wentworth taught you all the different kinds of art. And even for a teacher, Mr. Morse was pretty cool. In spring, he ran cross-country with the kids right after school. With Mrs. Coombs in Lincolnville, you planted carrot seeds, then later traveled to Quebec with leader Mr. Eads. And Mrs. Widows taught you how to play the drums and sing, while good old Mr. Russo kept his eyes on everything. If you were out in Appleton, the minute you stepped in, you were met inside the door by Mrs. Christie's grin. Then Tony fed you lunches in the middle of the day, and later Mr. Payson took you all outside to play. And if you went to school in Hope, the first thing that you knew was Mrs. Hathorn, principal, was watching over you. And Mrs. Holt taught 2nd grade, and boy, she was the best, while Mrs. Williams taught you math and put you to the test. When middle school was wrapping up, you met at Camp Cave, where you learned to get along, cooperate, behave. You made new friends, then hugged goodbye, remembering the thrills, knowing you would meet again next fall at Camden. Now, chapter 3, your freshman year, you tried to act so cool. Deep down, you were scared to death in this gigantic school. But you found your way around, you lost that freshman fear, and then, before you knew it, it was on to sophomore year. Now, let's be honest, sophomore year was really one big blur. Ask anyone what they did then, no one can say for sure, except, of course, for driver's ed. You learned to drive just right, and squeeze into a parking spot you thought was way too tight, and then you got your license and you felt just like the man, cruising downtown Camden in your mom's sweet minivan. Some of you slayed junior years while others just survived. Then finally, after 12 long years, your senior year arrived. The year that you've been waiting for, the year you wouldn't miss for all the money in the world. It all led up to this. You truly were BMOC. This year would sure be fun. But first you had to get good grades and do what need be done. You finished homework, took the test, but still had time to play, and racked up some impressive titles all along the way. You were champs in tennis and were champs in soccer too, and swimming and cross country and golf, to name a few. You elected Noah president, but wouldn't it be great if he became the real one in 2048? That's cool. And don't forget the faculty, the teachers you met daily, like Mr. Withy, Eris, and your favorite, Mrs. Daly. You even took a bus trip and you traveled to DC to visit sites in person you'd seen only on TV. Mike Pence was seen by half the class, the others didn't see him. The mood was sad and somber at the Holocaust Museum. But at the Nationals ballpark, Robbie worked the crowd. 30,000 people chanting "Bambaleo" loud. Now, chapter 4, the time has come to offer some advice. And I have just 2 things to say. Have fun, and please be nice. The first one I suggest, have fun. That sounds so simple, right? But I don't mean you should stay out late and party every night. Instead, I mean set down the phone and step outside the door. Travel and go see the world. Discover and explore. Please don't let your life fly by while staring at a screen. Do things that you haven't done. See things you haven't seen. You don't need tons of money nor venture very far. Have you seen Gulf Haggis? You can travel there by car. Now, I'm not saying just don't work. No, that's not what I mean. But find a job where you have fun with playtime in between. Remember all the fun you had when you were just a kid? Turn those things into your job. Don't laugh. That's what I... No, don't get pushed into a job you know you'll end up hating. First have fun and get outside. The whole wide world is waiting. The second one is please be nice. Come on, you know you should. The way the world is heading now, things aren't looking good. The way that some communicate is raunchy and it's rude. The way that people interact is cranky and it's crude. The blaming, shaming, name-calling, and all that slimy stuff, it's negative and nasty. And I think we've had enough. So, don't get sucked into the sludge. No, take the higher path. Avoid the muddy gutter or you'll have to take a bath. Spread good feelings all around as you walk down the street. Kindly hand out compliments to people that you meet. But keep your comments positive. Don't let your words slip south. Remember, after all, you kiss your mother with that. You'll notice the compassion that you offer every day will make a great big difference. Will go a long, long way to making this big world of ours a much more lovely place by saying please and thank you with a smile upon your face. And finally, in chapter 5, we celebrate this class. We shake their hand, we pump their fist, we slap them on the back. This class is so outstanding and exceptionally smart. Some are junior scientists and some make gorgeous art. Some aim far and globally while others keep things local. Some don't say a thing at all while others are quite vocal. Some are actors, some are writers, some are great musicians, some are thinkers, some are doers, some are smart technicians. For some, it'd be a simple cinch to fix a broken clutch. Some are awesome athletes, and others, not so much. But you'll agree, I think, with me, no matter what their plans, this world will be a better place. The future's in their hands. So you, out there, the teachers, friends, the fathers and the mothers, the grandparents, the relatives, the sisters and the brothers, please take a minute, glance up here, and catch your students' eyes. Look how far they've come, and do your best to memorize the image of them sitting there, smiling down at you. With that smile, they're thanking you for everything you do. And your smile back should signal just how much they make you proud. So give them all a great big hand, and please clap really loud.